This episode changes everything, yo. Guys, y'all, we just got some serious, major information about a new player. Well, technically an old player. Guys, we gotta just jump straight into this episode of Mushoku Tensei Season 2. We're on episode 9. Oh my god, sorry. I'm only here on exhausted reviews. And you guys will not believe the info dump that just happened. This episode didn't even feel like 20 minutes. Let alone the fact that we spent the first 5 minutes of the episode. We check in with Sylphie and learn that she hasn't even told rudeus who she is, which we already know that, but her cohorts, the princess and her guard, they learned that he doesn't even know who Sylphie is. So that's really all that I thought that would be the setup for this episode. But no, it turns out Sylphie has decided to, well, Rudeus asked Sylphie if she knows anyone who can, who knows anything about summoning. And that's when we get brought to the super secret special secret student that Rudeus was in Rudeus's homeroom classroom that he never got to meet. Well, now he's pulling up for the first time and he's meeting her, and y'all, it is literally the girl in the mask. And we even get a nice little flashback too, because I kind of forgot, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot who this chick was for a second. And then bro runs out, literally has a whole ass panic attack, bro. Dude literally has a Vietnam flashback of him getting just absolutely freaking wrecked and destroyed by Orsted. Bro is literally going through it. Guys, I don't know if you've seen it Puss in Boots, but this is a realistic depiction of what a panic attack looks like. No, bro, but seriously, he literally... And the fact that she wears those masks throughout the entire episode. I don't even remember her name. I think it's Silent. She goes by Silent. So Sylphie wakes her up, and it's funny that they're speaking in the demon language right now, because they're changing the perspective for us, so that when they do start speaking Japanese in second, she literally pulls up. She's like, "Bro, do you recognize these names?" She pulls up some Japanese letters, and dude obviously he fully recoils, bro, when he sees this. Bro literally does the anime. Ah! So he literally knows that she does the language, and yeah, so they end up chatting, and he's like, so we find out that she, the girl in the mask who was hanging out with Orsted, is actually from Japan. Y'all, this is the girl that Rudy saved, I guess maybe she hides her mask because she doesn't like that apparently she doesn't age. Which would make sense why she doesn't like looking at her face, because she still has the face of like a 13-year-old, despite being at least like 18 at this point. She's got to be pretty old. And seeing her, this frame right here, of seeing her and Rudy connect, while Fitz / Sylphie just watches helplessly in the background, because they start speaking their own language in front of her, which is actually hilarious the way they're framing this. They start speaking Japanese in front of her, and she's like, dog, like, Can you talk in a language I can understand? Because she's literally telling him, like, she's like, Rudy, bro, I want to go home. Like, come on, let's get out of here. And dude is like, bro, nah. And so Fitz sees this. That's why she sees him, like, actively getting depressed. Like, she's like, yeah, let's go home. And Rudy's like, nah, bro. So Fitz, the language of communication barrier here is actually kind of hilarious, because it ties back into the end of the episode. And even here, we get a funny reference to manga and light novel about how she doesn't want to, become like an OP reincarnated in the new world. But it's crazy because this episode really doesn't feel like 20 minutes, even though a lot of it is just her talking about her experience. She was dumped in the middle of the Asura Kingdom. I bet if you go back into the first season, you might be able to see her a little bit of her, maybe, I don't know. And yeah, so she's like, bro, I went on a journey with Orsted. The dragon god took me around the world. Me and him were homies. There were fights everywhere. And then he brought me back, and then he tried to kill you, bro. I guess you're one of his enemies. You're one of his ops. So that's why he killed you, and I told him to bring you back, because I had a feeling you were Japanese. And Rudy even, like, asked her, like, why did the man god trigger him? He just literally got triggered, bro. What's his trigger? What's the trauma here? And she was like, I don't know, it's personal. So yeah, good to know that we don't get any kind of explanation for why the Orsted and the man god hate each other. But the way they were able to travel, she was able to travel the whole world in just a year, because somehow there are still teleportation circles left. And we don't understand how or why like the mass teleportation event happened still, but apparently it happened at the same time that she was transported to the other world, which causes her to believe that she herself caused the incident somehow. Not directly, because she also doesn't have any mana. The difference between, as she puts it, that's the difference between reincarnation and teleportation. Rudy was, and we also know from the beginning of this arc that it's harder to learn magic when you're older. This is something that you want to learn when you're young, which is why they ended up picking up Julie and having her learn wordless casting instead of Zanoba, because he's just too strong, and she was a young, impressionable mind. It sounds weird when you put it like that, but it's just how the rules of magic work. You have your mana grows easier when you're a child, and that is the difference between Rudy and her, is that she was teleported here at her age, but Rudy actually died and was reincarnated here as a baby. So it's really interesting because you really don't see a lot of other shows deal with reincarnated, other people being reincarnated, and that's why I think it's so funny that she wears a white mask and has black hair, because she is literally dressed like the girl from Reincarnated as a Slime. So I guess we know where that girl comes from, because the girl and that the slime absorbs his femboy form literally wears a white mask, has black hair, and the cloak. And in anime, that's all you really need to just copy and paste the design. So yeah, that's her story, is that she was animated into another world with a never-aging body. And she hates this world and thinks the food sucks and wants to go back. And Rudy, our boy, says, no thank you. I would not like to go back, but I will help you because you have information that I need. And you're cool with the guy who tried to kill me, so maybe he won't try to kill me again, you know? And so she's like, so let's talk, right? Let's get down to business. I hear you're investigating the mass teleportation. And the Rudy's like, who told you that? And they both look at Sylphie, and she's literally still speaking in demon. She's literally been sitting in this corner the entire time, like, just not having heard none of this conversation. She doesn't understand anything about the conversation that is going on in front of her, which it's kind of funny in a way, because it leads to what happens next. Guys, we have to talk about what happens next. But before we get into the end of this episode, I need everybody watching this video to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you like Mushoku Tensei, because we've only got a couple episodes left in the season, and seeing the views on these videos really, like, it's so encouraging to see you guys leaving likes and commenting, even if some of the comments are spoilers. You know, I can get over that, because I love you guys for watching my videos, and I would be devastated if anything were to ever happen to my videos. Speaking of being devastated, our girl Sylphie, bro. Oh, so she's like, so Rudy's like, okay, can we just talk in the local language so we can clue her in? So now they finally just started, and it's funny, she puts on these rings. I think she doesn't have magic, but I think she's still able to use magic items. And I feel like she kind of expects this too, because she puts on, and she's like, I might have caused it. And bro, the phrasing on that is so bad, because she literally causes Sylphie to just absolutely lose it. And yeah, the magic on her fingers, the rings definitely are, she definitely was worried that, like, she was definitely prepared for the right thing, because she was about to, and then for the second time, Sylphie gets stirred magic. She comes in for the, bro, she literally tries to put in some kind of actual, like, hands on this girl. This school is wild, y'all. I don't know who was watching these kids, bro. These kids are able to just do whatever they want. Mating seasons, fights, bro. And Sylphie is just like, bro, she's losing it, having a full breakdown. And this is probably the most anybody ever has seen, like, Sylphie act, even emote on this campus. So it's definitely a cause near and dear to her heart, especially for Rudeus too. I can't imagine Rudeus having to watch this for the first time and being like, bro, Fitz, you're losing it. No, Fitz, sorry, we spoke in Japanese. You don't speak Japanese. What's wrong with you? Go back to your country. No, she's a victim like us. She was teleported here too. So yeah, she was teleported for another world. That's definitely what you should have led with, bro. You can't just have an entire conversation about a giant worldwide catastrophic event and then be like, yeah, I might have caused that. It might have been me. Silly me. But sorry, guys. Yeah, she done goofed with that one. And we end this episode, so they're able to they come to an agreement. They decide that Rudy will use his magic to help her experiments, and she will give him knowledge. And you know what's better than having a giant library full of magical books, a new Lamborghini, and knowledge? And we end the episode in a bit of a weird spot, because Rudy's like, I don't really trust her, but, you know, I'm working with her for now. And Sylphie is like, she catches up, but she doesn't seem to be too happy. She's really, I think the lies are starting to get to her. I think the lies and trying to maintain this false image, this false narrative, and also kind of not betraying, but holding back this information from I guess the man she loves would be fair to call it. I think it's definitely having kind of an effect on Sylphie. You know, before she was able to play her mask, her persona of Fitz without really a care in the world. That's just who she was now. But now that rudeus is in her life, she's kind of doing a double life. Her secret identity, we see this happen in all kinds of superhero content. Oh crap, I forgot to review Superman. I gotta put that review out, you guys. Superman review coming out soon. But yeah, all in all, very good episode of Mushoku Tensei. I feel like last episode felt like 2 episodes put together, because they're really trying to cram a lot of stuff into this first core of the season before it ends. So we are really just gonna have to look forward to what they have to come. Let them cook, y'all. Let them cook. I know some of the content has been cut, and it kind of feels like that. Obviously, in the conversation with Silent and rudeus, we definitely have a lot of cut content that is just going into specific details, maybe perhaps specific anecdotes, but overall I feel like I'm not missing a whole lot from the light novel. It would be interesting. Should I check out the light novel, you Mushoku Tensei fans, without spoiling it? Should I check out the light manga, or should I check out the light manga? Oh my god, should I check out the light novel, or should I check out the manga? You guys just let me know. And yeah, this was a great episode for me. I got this episode at 8.5 out of 10. Sylphie's breakdown was absolutely harrowing to watch. Bro, 2 breakdowns. Both of these guys, Sylphie and rudeus, both had just had a really bad day, y'all. This episode of Mushoku Tensei gave me a panic attack watching it. Especially watching Sylphie just in the end of not being able to reveal her true self. You know, you hate to see the Spider-Man dilemma of wanting to tell your loved ones who you are, but it's having an impact on your double life. So, good episode. Hope to see you guys again in the next video. So I'll see y'all later. Peace.